King Harald, ancient giant bloodlines, Hajrudin's true heritage, Loki's family, Gunko's terrifying powers, and the official debut of Figarland Shamrock. Most importantly, it sets the stage for a direct confrontation between Elbaf and the world government. And if Shamrock truly shares a deeper connection with Shanks, then the Final Saga just became even more interesting. The chapter begins in Elbaf's ancient castle, a place that has remained untouched ever since the death of King Harald. The castle has been abandoned for years, and nobody has entered it since the tragedy that shook Elbaf 14 years ago. However, something is clearly wrong. Luffy and his group discover that the castle gate has been broken from the inside. The damage appears recent, suggesting that someone entered the castle not long ago.
As expected, Luffy immediately gets excited and rushes inside, eager to explore. Once they enter, the scale of the castle becomes obvious. Everything is gigantic, even by giant standards. The walls tower above them, and the structure feels more like a lost kingdom than a simple castle. Inside, they discover that the castle is still covered with battle scars from the day King Harald died. According to Road, the destruction wasn't caused recently. These scars have remained ever since the battle between King Harald and Loki. This revelation immediately reminds everyone just how powerful Loki must be. If a battle between father and son could leave behind damage of this magnitude after 14 years, then both warriors were operating on an unimaginable level. As the group continues exploring, they discover something even more shocking. The castle is filled with enormous skeletons. Road explains that long ago, many giant warriors gathered here in an attempt to stop Loki. Around 100 warriors stood ready to kill him. Yet only one survived. That survivor was none other than Lord Jarul. This means that one of the greatest massacres in Elbaf's history happened right here. Because of that tragedy, the location was declared forbidden, and nobody was allowed to enter again. Among the bones scattered throughout the ruins, Luffy notices something unusual. Some of the skulls have horns. Road explains that these belonged to descendants of the ancient giants. This is a huge piece of lore. The ancient giants have always been mysterious figures in One Piece history. Oars and Little Oars Jr. are the most famous examples. Now, Oda confirms that traces of their bloodline still exist among modern giants. The group then discovers a portrait of King Harald. The image reveals a very different version of the legendary king. Harald appears powerful and intimidating, covered in scars and carrying the aura of a warrior king. Road explains that Harald was considered Elbaf's strongest king. Unlike many previous rulers, he sought peace and cooperation with the outside world. He wanted Elbaf to move beyond endless warfare and create relationships with other nations. However, another surprising detail catches everyone's attention. King Harald once had giant horns. The scars visible on his forehead show exactly where those horns used to be. At some point in his life, Harald intentionally ripped them out. According to Road, the horns represented the ancient giant heritage and a violent era of endless conflict. Removing them symbolized Harald's desire to abandon the old ways and create a new future for Elbaf. This small detail reveals just how committed Harald was to changing his nation. But then comes one of the biggest revelations in the chapter. Road explains that Loki had an older brother. His name is Hajrudin. Luffy is completely shocked. The revelation becomes even more surprising when Road explains why Hajrudin never became king. Although Hajrudin is King Harald's son, his mother came from another giant nation. Because of this, many Elbaf citizens viewed him as having impure blood. As a result, Hajrudin's mother was never accepted as queen. This meant Hajrudin could never inherit the throne, despite being Harald's son. This moment reveals a darker side of Elbaf society. For a nation that values strength and honor, they still discriminate based on bloodlines. Even among giants, prejudice exists. Road admits that many believed children born from giants of different lands would taint Elbaf's blood. Luffy, of course, doesn't care about any of that. To him, Hajrudin is simply Hajrudin. When asked why he follows Hajrudin despite these beliefs, Road gives a heartfelt answer. He explains that Hajrudin never gave up. Despite being rejected and isolated, Hajrudin always dreamed of uniting all giant tribes under one banner.
Road remembers Hajrudin declaring that one day he would become king of the giants. His determination inspired Road completely. In fact, Road openly states that he wants to help make Hajrudin's dream become reality. This section gives Hajrudin far more depth than ever before. He isn't just a member of the Grand Fleet anymore. He has a genuine dream capable of changing the future of the giant race. But while Luffy's group explores the past, a terrifying event unfolds elsewhere. The chapter shifts to the realm of the dead. There, the mysterious Holy Knight Gunko confronts Loki.
Gunko reveals an incredibly dangerous ability. Arrows fired by her don't simply travel in straight lines. Instead, they curve through the air and pursue their targets. Even more terrifying, Gunko claims these arrows represent the future itself. According to her, once the future is decided, only she can prevent it from happening. She uses this ability to predict Loki's movements and continuously trap him. The fight demonstrates just how powerful the Holy Knights truly are. Gunko then presents Loki with an offer. Join the Holy Knights, serve the world government, accept divinity. For most people, such an offer would be impossible to refuse. But Loki immediately rejects it. He refuses without hesitation. Instead of surrendering, he attacks. The confrontation escalates into a violent clash. Despite Gunko's overwhelming ability, Loki continues resisting. Then, the chapter reaches its biggest moment. The fight demonstrates just how powerful the Holy Knights truly are. A familiar figure finally steps forward. The man introduced earlier is officially revealed. His name is Figarland Shamrock, captain of the God's Knights, son of Saint Figarland Garland, and most importantly, a man who looks almost identical to Shanks. This is the reveal fans have been waiting for. For months, readers suspected a connection between this mysterious character and Shanks. Now, Oda confirms that Shamrock belongs to the Figarland family, the same bloodline connected to Garling. The implications are enormous. If Shamrock is Garling's son and resembles Shanks so closely, then the mystery surrounding Shanks' origins becomes even deeper. The chapter ends with Shamrock and Gunko discussing their mission. They conclude that negotiation has failed. As a result, they decide to contact Mary Jawai's. The world government's plan is now clear. Elbaf will not be left alone.